Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the YouTube algorithm find my channel, and it really does help the channel grow, so I do greatly appreciate that. Now with that in mind, today we are going to be talking about institutional investors and also ISO 222 tokens, more so kind of centering around XRP, XLM, ALGO, and a few other tokens. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first off, to really quickly address what ISO 222 actually is, a lot of people think that it's going to really kind of spark this massive pump, for ISO 222 tokens. I want everyone to understand that this is not some sort of massive update. ISO 222 is a messaging format. It's a transition from the messaging format that we currently use within our legacy systems to, of course, this new and improved messaging format. Now with this, okay, what could this actually mean for these ISO 222 tokens like XRP, XLM, etc.? It just means that they could actually be adopted in and be utilized properly within this ecosystem, which I actually foresee happening, and that's going to lead to a massive move along the boards for ISO 222 tokens. Now, of course, yes, will these tokens pump until then or beforehand? Yes, because I think that's going to spark a massive demand around them. People are going to be thinking that it is going to result in a massive pump upon, of course, adopting this messaging format, but that's not the case. Now, let's actually jump into this and let's talk about a few things. So, first off, let's talk about the guide to migration journey. Now, this is actually coming from Red Compass Labs. This is actually a pretty cool, interesting breakdown. I actually showed you guys this on the quant video from a few days ago. But this is ISO 222 standardization in terms of almost every single messaging, financial format. We talk about trade, cards, payments, securities, FX, and then we do see down here by 2023, ISO 222 will account for 80% of volumes of high-value transactions and 87% of value of high-value transactions as well. Now, with this in mind, I'm going to be talking to you guys about high-value payment market infrastructures, because we're actually going to be addressing SWIFT. Now, this will lead to 70 plus countries that are already utilizing ISO 222 currently, but at the end of the day, every single country will be utilizing. This is going to be a global scaled messaging format. And we actually see the timeline right now in terms of, strategy being redefined around the world, talking about Singapore, Hong Kong, Bank of England, etc. And of course, by 2024, nearly every single area of the world will be adopted by this, of course, messaging format. We do see with, 200 plus payment types in scope, ISO 222 will bring a number of benefits. Now, these are the benefits that I actually do want to put a spotlight on, and this is where we can kind of connect the dots a little bit. So, efficient sanctions and anti-money laundering validations, increases automatic reconciliation, improves STP, rate it, and reduces cost, better regulatory reporting, improves liquidity monitoring, claims and investigations more effective. Now, as we do kind of look at a lot of this, I do believe that it's all going to most likely be centered around liquidity. I think that that is going to be the key selling point. But we are also going to be talking about interoperability as well. Interoperability will basically be quant, section. Liquidity will be obviously XRP section. Trade finance will be XDCs, etc. So let's kind of talk into this. So we do see down here by 2023, the multi-part international standard will be supporting 80% of global volumes and 87% of value of transactions worldwide, which will be trillions of dollars, of course, as you guys do know. And then we do see to date the countries that have already adopted this messaging format, and then we do kind of see the move later on, more so kind of targeting the Target 2 and Target 2 securities. So this is going to basically be all of the money, if you will. I think that a lot of people think that this is going to lead to just one name, basically, being the bridge for all of this money, aka XRP, but that's not the case. We kind of look at, things that are going to be benefited through this, and then this is where you can kind of target, where, XRP will play a key role. So I've always said cross-border payments is the area to watch for. And this is actually high-value payments plus and cross-border payments and reporting user groups were established to harmonize the standards between the various regions and make the migration of cross-border high-value payments as smooth as possible for banks and corporates alike. This is where things get interesting. So when we look at cross-border payments, we know there's one name in the game that is focusing on that, and that is, of course, Ripple with XRP. Do I believe that Ripple with XRP is going to most likely take over the cross-border sector? Yes. Now, I don't believe it's going to be a full 100% takeover or even a 50% takeover, but I do foresee it having at least a 10% market share of that value of those payments, which is $156 trillion. Now, as we do kind of move towards this and we kind of see tokenization taking over as well in terms of like trade finance and things like that, then we do see even more amounts of money being unlocked. And we are basically getting to that point with this in terms of like trade finance and things like that. ISO 2022 definitely will open the door for a lot of that, which is where I do believe that a lot of these tokens do shine, more so XDC, even XRP, and even XLM, which we will talk about here shortly. Now, from Swift's website themselves, here they are talking about those high value payments, as well as the high value payment market infrastructure. So we look at this, and I could actually kind of open this up in a new tab, and this actually kind of breaks down where they're basically moving within, of course, ISO 2022 adoption. Now, again, these are high-value payment market infrastructures, so we do see what's on Swift, and then we do see the planning migration by November 2022, which is, of course, all of these names here, which are the major ones that we are currently watching for. And then, of course, we do see the U.S. dollar, or the United States, if you will, in terms of chips and the Fedwire USD. Now, this is going to most likely happen between 2023 and 2025. Now, again, when we look at what's happening in November 2022, it's going to be 12 systems that have already, that's already live, plus 30 plus systems expected to go live in 2022. So this will account for 42 full systems already adopted into the ISO 2022 messaging format. Then we do see by 2025, 80 systems targeting to be on the ISO 2022. Of these, 50 plus are on the Swift network. Now, as we do kind of look at this, again, this will streamline the process of plug and play through these ISO 2022 tokens. Now, where will these tokens play a pivotal role? Well, here we have 5 compliant cryptos to keep an eye out on in 2022. Again, they are really kind of talking about Bitcoin here. I wouldn't necessarily even mention Bitcoin technically, but we do see, of course, XRP, XLM, even ALGO, IOTA, XDC. Now, we do see Ripple is the first of the 2 to be added to this body, opening up standardization for distributed ledger technology. Stellar is part of the body through IBM, which uses Stellar to underlie its stablecoin issuing operation, which we have been seeing BlackRock really targeting that with USDC. And then, of course, XDC and these other ones are basically tying into almost all of the money through, again, financial institutional growth within trade finance and things like that. And then, of course, there's other cryptos that haven't been officially listed, which are like HBAR, QNT, and like even ADA. Now, where are these, major tokens playing a pivotal role? Where do these basically, I should say, when we look at these tokens, why are these the ones that we should be focused on? Why are these the main ones that I've always been mentioning? Well, it's pretty simple. I actually have this other article open over here where it actually kind of tells us about, just Ripple and Stellar, not other tokens besides these other ones, but this is like 7 crisis proof. We don't need to focus on crisis proof here. We just need to focus on the back end on just XRP and XLM, for an example, and then I could explain to you XDC. So XRP, ISO 2022 compliance makes widespread bank adoption likely because it is going to allow for an ease of plug and play through API gateways, which of course QNT will most likely allow a lot of these legacy systems to interconnect with DLTs. And then we do see Stellar institutional use cases strengthen longevity. I think that when we look at the institutional demand behind Stellar as well, it is also growing similar to XRP, and which this leads me to, again, XDC. So XinFin has been building out its trade finance connections with institutional players within that area, which will lead it to targeting that $19 trillion market. Now, when we look at this, institutional demand around crypto is, very, very massive right now. We look at a lot of these tokens, and the one key target area for them is institutional demand. When we look at this, right, we are seeing 80% of institutions believe that crypto will overtake traditional investment vehicles within 10 years. When we look at this and we kind of compare and contrast the things happening with ISO 222, I actually foresee this happening sooner than expected in terms of 10 years. Because of ISO 222 itself, it's not the idea that this messaging format is going to provide so much for crypto. It's actually what crypto provides for these financial institutions and banks once ISO 222 is actually adopted in. Yes, it's just a messaging format, but when we look at the benefits of ISO 222, it's almost centered exactly around everything that crypto is already doing. Better transparency with better remittance data for improved customer experience. With automation, ISO 222 will encircle end-to-end business processes and entire business domains to increase straightforward processing and new services. Highly granular data, end-to-end payment system, improve flexibility and data for product innovation. And then, of course, it enables efficient support and referencing for non-Latin alphabets. Now, again, the conclusion here is just this is going to really spark a move in terms of efficiencies being unlocked for these banking clients, for these areas that we need more efficiencies within, more so even the cross-border payment market, as they are mentioning here. And this is going to be high-value systems, by the way. And why would this actually increase the value of some of these ISO 222 tokens? Well, for an example, XRP, right? The higher value the transactions and overall payment systems that is being connected to the Ripple network utilizing on-demand liquidity, the higher the price of XRP actually has to be. There has to be a lot more liquidity there, and having that higher price XRP means that they won't have to actually hold as much XRP tokens, and actually increases the efficiencies behind, of course, on-demand liquidity. Now, again, as we do see more institutions moving in, we've also been seeing a lot of other major names that have hated on crypto in terms of financial institutions moving in on even crypto. But we also see even into the metaverse. All of these areas actually really show us where we are headed to in terms of crypto adoption. It's from the institutional grade clients that are going to most likely push us to new heights through trillions of dollars of capital. HSBC, Fidelity, JP Morgan, Standard Chartered are all in on the metaverse. Standard Chartered actually just discussed Ripple and XRP being utilized for their cross-border payment markets because of the efficiencies. And then, of course, we do see here, Fireblocks gets a $500 million investment from institutions into Terra DeFi a week after launch. DeFi is growing. Cross-border payments in terms of the scope for XRP is growing. XDC is absolutely killing it. I'm foreseeing a ton of demand around DeFi, metaverse, payments in general, as well as trade finance. Tokenization is the thing that is the main key here as well throughout a lot of this. But as we do see ISO 222 being moved forward, and we are getting very, very close to that date, this is going to be a time to really kind of watch for a lot of these ISO 222 tokens, because I foresee, again, retail pumping these. But I don't think that ISO 222s are going to go absolutely parabolic until those trillion-dollar use cases are going live. But we will still see massive moves throughout the entire market for these ISO 222 tokens, more so, again, centering around, XRP, XLM, ALGO, XDC, IOTA, and even HBAR and QNT. So with that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.